has significantly weakened, but not before unleashing massive damage up north. The bad weather is also seen to persist for a while before clearing up. Let's take a good look at FMC Electron, the first global automotive brand that's proudly Filipino. And speaking of Pinoy pride, here are two athletes who just keep on winning. Good evening, I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. We begin with the United States government formally requesting the extradition of Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Apollo Quiboloy. Philippine Ambassador to the U.S., Jose Manuel Babe Romualdez, confirmed to News 5 that the document for such petition has been transmitted to the Department of Justice for processing. But the DOJ said it has yet to receive the request and cited the Philippine-U.S. extradition treaty, stating the Foreign Affairs Department is the first point of contact. With this, the agency added that all initial inquiries should be directed to the DFA. Quiboloy is facing a string of charges which include conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, sex trafficking of children, and bulk cash smuggling. These are all crimes supposedly committed in the U.S., charges which landed the KOJC pastor on the FBI's most wanted list. 3 of his co-accused in the cases have already pled guilty. Quiboloy's lawyer, attorney Israelito Torreon, said their camp is yet to receive information on the extradition request. Quiboloy is currently detained at the Pasig City Jail for separate charges of sexual abuse and qualified human trafficking. The religious leader was known as spiritual advisor to several politicians and a staunch ally of the Dutertes.
That's very clear under Article 11 of the U.S.-Philippine extradition treaty. No? The Philippine government has the power or discretion to postpone extradition proceedings or defer the surrender of a person who is being prosecuted or serving a sentence locally until the local proceedings conclude. That's basic under the law. And what would complicate things is that there is that principle of adherence of jurisdiction, which means that if a court has already acquired jurisdiction, the first court which acquires jurisdiction, then that court has supremacy to, as a general rule, to decide the case finally before it surrenders its jurisdiction to other authorities or jurisdictions.
Another lawyer of Quiboloy, attorney Ferdinand Topacio, echoed Torreon's sentiment. He stressed it will require court proceedings to determine whether the extradition treaty actually applies to Quiboloy and if the United States has jurisdiction over him. Topacio further noted that since Quiboloy is under the custody of a local court, extradition at this point is not feasible unless the Philippine government surrenders him to the U.S. In other news, much of Luzon's eastern seaboard had been inundated with heavy rains long before a storm struck. Lowland roads saw severe flooding while mountain passes became more perilous with the threat of landslides. When still Tropical Storm Maymay crossed northern Luzon today, it further left thousands displaced and at least 4 dead. News 5's Mon Gualvez with this report.
This was all that's left of an eatery in La Trinidad, Benguet after a landslide buried it. 2 died in the incident while another was injured. All victims were cooks at the food outlet and were just going about their work when tragedy struck. The 2 fatalities were identified as Jerry Agbuya and Lemar Shano, while the survivor, Dino Agbuya, was brought to the Benguet General Hospital. The wrath of Maymay was also felt in other areas up north. Heavy rains and strong winds pummeled the province of La Union for several hours. In the town of San Juan, large waves crashed along the shoreline, while water runoff from the upland areas filled rivers. The Baroro River quickly overflowed and covered the Santa Rosa Bridge.
Ang aming assessment, nanggaling pa po doon sa mountainous area, yung tubig, together with the downpour nung pagdaan ni Maymay, kaya sudden rise po tayo ngayon.
5 barangays of San Juan are now almost isolated. In San Fernando City, still in La Union, residents had to traverse several flooded roads, while hundreds of families have sought safer shelter. But many of the evacuees, like those in Barangay Poro and Barangay San Agustin, have to endure cramped conditions. As many as 8 families temporarily share tents like this one. Overall, more than 5,000 families have evacuated across the entire province of La Union, equivalent to nearly 16,000 individuals. In the town of Caba, flooding and landslides were also recorded. As the rains continue, authorities are concerned that more landslides could occur.
Yung kabundukan na yan yung mga nagsaserve na watershed, di ba? Pag nasaturate niya, this time talagang, I believe, saturated na yan. It's just a matter of, wag naman sana, na magkakaroon tayo ng problema sa landslide, magkakaroon tayo ng flash floods, yung mga ganyan. So yan din yung isang binabantayan natin.
Other provinces in Ilocos region also experienced heavy flooding, closing down roads, such as this spillway in the town of Gregorio del Pilar in Ilocos Sur. In Tagudin, residents bore the brunt of Maymay as it made landfall there. Meanwhile, just north of Manila, 2 more residents perished as heavy rocks dislodged by continuous rain tumbled down this mountainside in Barangay San Rafael, Rodriguez, Rizal. The victims were siblings aged 20 and 22 and were just tending their makeshift store when they were crushed to death.
Pinulot ko po yung asawa ko kasi nandun na po siya sa tubig eh. Baka po maanod siya dun sa baha. Tapos sumunod po. Yung bayaw ko po pinulot ko rin po. Kasi patay na po siya, tinamaan po sa ulo.
According po sa mga residente, no, kahapon pa po kasi malakas yung ulan. Tapos tuloy-tuloy ito na siguro possible po na naging dahilan ng paglambot ng lupa dun sa taas ng bundok.
The local government of Rizal has extended its condolences and aid to the bereaved family. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Here's the latest weather update. Tropical depression Maymay has finished crossing the Luzon landmass and is now back over the sea. Its eye was last seen over the Philippine Sea, east-northeast of Echage, Isabela. Signal number 1 is still hoisted over the southeastern portion of mainland Cagayan, the provinces of Isabela and Quirino, the northeastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya, the northern and central portions of Aurora, and the eastern portions of Kalinga, Mountain Province, and Ifugao. Pag-asa forecasts Maymay to continue weakening and will be downgraded to a remnant low by tonight or tomorrow. The bad weather may persist as the southwest monsoon or habagat plus localized thunderstorms prevail. Moving on, Malacanang reminded senator judges in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte to remain impartial. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro raised observations of senator judges acting as lawyers during the proceedings, a mandate that is not theirs. While she did not name any senator judge, Castro seemed to allude to yesterday's exchange between prosecution witness attorney Roderick Wamil and Senator Amy Marcos.
Na ang dapat managot lamang ay ang SDO. Nakalimutan na may head of agency kung ano ang sinasabi ng batas. So kung ano yung sinasabi ng batas, kung ano yung sinasabi ng ebidensya, sana ay wag walisin, wag linisin, at pahinain ang katotohanan at lihisin ang kung ano ang sinasabi ng batas.
Meanwhile, it looks like Castro made reference to Vice President Sara Duterte's recent remark over the Pax Silica initiative. Castro was first asked to comment on a petition calling for the suspension of the project. The Palace Press officer advised those against the AI Hub's establishment at the New Clark City to study the initiative first amid misleading information on it circulating online. Then she threw this line, which seemed to be a jab at Duterte, who in an interview seemed unfamiliar with Pax Silica.
We hope na nung pumirma kayo ay alam nyo ang detalye patungkol dito. Hindi sila muwang, hindi sila mangmang sa kung ano ang Pax Silica. Sana alam nila talaga kung ano ang nilalaman ng agreement na ito.
When the palace press officer speaks, can Vice President Sara Duterte be far behind? When the big story returns, the VP pushes back on some remarks coming out of Malacanang, and as usual, she did not mince words. Stay tuned.
Oh, what a way to finish the opening set.
Linggo-linggo ko kayo nakikita, sinusuporta ako. Linggo-linggo ko nakikita kung gaano niyo kamahal ang kapwa niyong Pinoy. Kaya proud na proud na proud na proud ako din maging Pinoy.
There's the Ayala mania in Toronto as Pinay tennis sensation Alex Ayala charged into victory again at the Canadian Open R32. There were so many Filipinos in attendance for this match that the selling of chicken adobo was even allowed on site. More of Alex's new win later on in the program. Vice President Sara Duterte is pushing back against latest statements from Marcos officials, particularly Palace Press Officer Claire Castro. The VP, like her brother, also challenged Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro to start naming pro-China officials who he thinks should quit. Mobile journalist Julie Baisa has this report.
Is there a standing order from the President to have Senator Bato arrested?
Yes, still. There is.
Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said there is no going easy on the manhunt for Senator Bato de la Rosa, nor on the hunt for whoever spread the false news that the ICC wanted lawmaker had already been arrested. Communications Secretary Dave Gomez deputized their so-called anti-fake news desk to investigate and file appropriate charges against those behind the rumor. As for Yuse Castro, she's standing by the belief the narrative of Bato's false arrest is just meant to divert public attention from Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. But according to the VP, the rumor barely made an impact in an already chaotic trial against her.
Napaka-klaro naman yung bending the law dyan sa impeachment na yan, simula pa sa House of Representatives hanggang sa pagkakaroon ng dalawang tao na nakaupo doon sa, ano man tawag dyan, stage or rostrum or elevated platform. Hindi na kailangan guluhin ang impeachment dahil magulo na siya sa bending the law.
Duterte even gave Castro some unsolicited advice: be professional as the president's spokesperson. Earlier, the Palace Press Officer dismissed the vice president's claim as baseless and nonsense that Marcos is an ICC lapdog.
Ulitin ko si Claire Castro is a spokesperson of the President and the Office of the President, or hindi ko alam kung kaninong spokesperson siya. Pero by the fact na spokesperson ka at merong seal ng Office of the President dyan, dapat maging professional ka sa mga sinasabi mo. Kung ano yung professionalism na hinihingi galing doon sa opisina na yon, yun dapat ang ipakita at ibigay mo sa taong bayan.
Meantime, the VP also challenged Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro to name the officials whom he said are pro-China. Teodoro has called on these figures to resign. Recall that Sara's brother, Davao City Congressman Pulong Duterte, had pushed back on the DND chief's statements and even dared Teodoro to present proof and file appropriate charges against so-called traitors to Philippine sovereignty.
Siguro para klaro sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin, dapat pangalanan kung sino yung mga officials na tinutukoy niya na nagde-defend sa China over the West Philippine Sea issue. Hindi mo naman pangalanan yung mga opisyal at syempre suspect kahit ang presidente natin kasali sa suspect doon kasi walang pangalan, walang listahan ng pangalan.
Kapatid Mobile Journal Julie Baiza, we are One News.
Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste was a no-show at the NBI headquarters today. Leviste and former Congressman Jing Paras were subpoenaed to appear before the agency in connection with its investigation into an alleged character assassination campaign against Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. NBI NCR Regional Director Attorney Emeterio Dongalio said Leviste's camp had asked for time to prepare and properly respond to the investigation. In a letter, the neophyte congressman requested copies of documents related to the ongoing investigation. Since work in government offices was suspended, the NBI decided to have Leviste and Paras appear instead on August 11. Paras's lawyers incidentally also sent a letter requesting a reset of his appearance and also asked for certain documents related to the investigation. The NBI has not granted these requests.
Mayroon po tayong batas dyan na talagang pagka ang isang dokumento ay subject po ng present investigation o current investigation, hindi po pwedeng i-share yan. Kasi mako-compromise yung investigation plus yung mga persons or personalities involved baka makompromise din. May batas po tayo dyan. Marami pong precedent dyan at may batas tayo na sinasabi nga itong mga dokumento ay confidential in nature, hindi pwedeng i-share. Pagpunta na lang po ng sinumpina, pwede natin ipakita dito. Pero yung ilabas mo from our office, hindi po pwede talaga yan.
In other news, Quezon City's premier urban forest has officially expanded its footprint to offer the public a larger sanctuary. Mobile journalist Ivan Tarinque with this report.
Feel at one with nature when you visit the newly opened Phase 2 of Mesa Ecopark in Quezon City. The amphitheater, expanded picnic areas, rehabilitated lagoons, new pavilions, and the flower hill overlooking La Mesa Dam are now open to visitors. According to the park management, the expansion aims to provide the public with more space for recreation while promoting a greater appreciation of nature.
Ang layunin nito ay mabigyan ng publiko ng mas maraming espasyo para sa recreation, wellness, environmental appreciation habang nananatiling konektado sa kalikasan.
Meanwhile, a 50 pesos entrance fee has also been implemented for non-Quezon City residents, up from the previous 20 pesos, while admission remains free for Quezon City residents with QC ID. Park officials said the 50 peso fee was reinstated because a larger portion of the eco-park is now open and requires more maintenance. The additional revenue will help fund security, conservation efforts, and the continued improvement of La Mesa Ecopark. Some visitors say the fee increase is reasonable if it helps improve the park's maintenance and conservation, especially since they no longer have to travel far to enjoy a green open space.
Masaya. Kasi malapit lang po kami, walking distance lang po Kaysa pupunta po kami sa ibang lugar, dito na lang po kami.
Park officials expect the number of monthly visitors to nearly double with the opening of Phase 2, while daily visitors will be capped at 3,000 to help protect the La Mesa watershed. Visitors are also reminded to avoid loud noises and refrain from collecting plants to help preserve the park's natural environment.
Please, ang La Mesa Ecopark po is a natural park. So sana po wala po masyadong malalakas na ingay. Sana po pagpunta natin dito, enjoy natin ang kalikasan, ang tunog ng mga ibon para hindi ito masira.
Kapatid Mobile Journey Ivan Tarinque, we are One News.
This is a big story on One News, and coming up, the first Filipino electric vehicle will soon be on the roads. And the company behind the iconic jeepney is behind this historic rollout. Sustainability is next. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the big story. A homegrown jeepney brand is making a historic breakthrough in the Philippine auto industry. Welcome the Electron, the very first electric passenger vehicle that is proudly Pinoy. Developed by Francisco Motors, teams in California and China, Electron can run from 400 to 600 kilometers depending on the configuration. It can be fully charged within 30 minutes, wow, and is equipped with an AI system called Domeng, which serves as an intelligent digital co-pilot. It's time to put the spotlight on initiatives that help communities move forward. Welcome to Sustainability. Joining us to discuss the election and more is the chairman of Francisco Motors, Elmer Francisco. Good evening, Elmer. Welcome to Sustainability.
Hi, good evening, Cez. Thank you for having me in your show.
So you're a second generation Francisco. I was telling you earlier before you came on the show that I had been to your plant in Las Piñas when you were 7 years old, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
7 years old.
Long ago. One of my first coverages, actually. But now let's discuss the Electron and then move to the, the modernization of the jeepney. That program has been stuck for so long. So we'll discuss that later. But yung Electron muna, exciting news. But why manufacture in China and California? Why?
Yes, so first and foremost, we have been requesting our own government for support regarding this. Because one problem is that people say that if manufacturers from other countries come to the Philippines, we welcome that. Philippine-made vehicles.
Right.
But it's different when you say it's a Filipino brand. So we are a Filipino manufacturer doing it in China and in California. So it's just like OFWs. If they do it in other
Right.
countries, it's still Filipino.
Right.
But of course, we want to bring the technology back to the Philippines.
Yeah. Okay. But what is preventing you from doing so? Because imagine if you were to manufacture here, you will be able to create jobs. And then there's a multiplier effect on the economy, parts, etc. But why?
Yes. So actually, as you can see, it's no secret. The Chinese automakers are making it big,
Yeah.
not
They're
only
the
in the
leader.
Philippines, but globally. So they say if you want to compete with the Chinese EV manufacturers, you do it in China.
Okay.
Because the ecosystem is matured there. And they're heavily subsidized by their governments, while we don't have any support from our government for decades. Actually, says the last time we had real support from the government was from the father of President Marcos, President Ferdinand Marcos, and the former First Lady, wherein what we call government support is government procurement. Even if they don't give us...
Correct. Dapat bumili sila
Yes.
sa mga local.
Yes. Even if they don't give us incentives, if
Yeah.
they buy from us,
Right.
that's what we call solid
Support your own.
government support. Just like back then, our Pinoy transporter and the jeepneys. And we have the smaller vehicle, the basic utility vehicle called Harabas.
Yes,
It was
naalala ko yun.
widely used by Cultural Center of the Philippines and Manila Transit Corporation by former First Lady Imelda Marcos. So now I'm also thankful to President Marcos for the EVs, the electric vehicle incentive strategy. Pero sana...
Kasasign lang
Yes.
lang nung EO.
Yes.
How long ago?
July 29, I think. 28 or 29.
Okay. So with this in EO, will it allow you to locate here and manufacture here using, of course, technology developed in China?
Actually, our R&D is in California, but we have been working with Chinese technology partners as well, so that we can manufacture it here in the Philippines. So that's really the plan.
That's the plan.
Yes, we are closely collaborating with BOI right now, so that the IRR of the EVs
Yes.
would be pro-Filipino manufacturers, unlike the predecessor, which is the CARS program, which is really built for foreign manufacturers.
At saka ang dami nilang incentives to locate here. Bakit hindi ibigay rin sa local, di ba?
Yes, yes. And like what I mentioned, they're heavily subsidized by their governments.
Yeah.
So how can we compete with that if we are not being supported by our own government?
For instance, how did the Vietnam EV program become so successful also? We have EV taxis and VinFast, is it VinFast, is also selling here.
Yes, yes.
Paano nila ginawa?
Government support. Government
Yun lang
support.
talaga, no?
That's what I've been telling you. So all countries in the world, be it in the US, in Europe, and many different countries, in Japan, we're not new to this. We've brought in many different Japanese brands over the decades, also Korean brands, also Chinese brands. We brought them here in the Philippines. We created markets for them. But our laws back then were prohibitive for us to create our own. But now we have Evida and also EVs, of which we are optimistically cautious, and we've been working with BOI so that we can iron out everything, the details, so that it will be open to local manufacturers.
I'm so glad you're a second generation, Francisco. I'm so glad you haven't given up. I mean, despite all the barriers, you are a physicist by training.
Yes.
So, of course, I guess you can apply your training in the design.
Yes, yes. Actually, that's one of the reasons why we have been collaborating with scientists and engineers in California, because we're building that R&D hub there right now in California with top-tier incentives. It's
Like
because,
what?
Yes.
Oo.
The technology in California for batteries is really advanced. It's way more advanced.
It can even beat the Chinese one that's... well, BYD started as a battery maker,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes.
continue.
One thing that we are working on is hydrogen fuel cells. So hydrogen fuel cells, it can be a range extender right now, but later on, when it's fully developed, we can do a regenerative hydrogen fuel cells. So we have had several collaborations also with the OST here in the Philippines.
Supposedly, we are rich in hydrogen. How does that technology work?
Okay.
Paki-explain.
Okay, so ang hydrogen fuel cells is it's different from the internal combustion na hydrogen as a gas. Kasi kapag internal combustion, ang byproduct niya is nitrogen. So it's equally harmful to the environment. So we're going for fuel cells, hydrogen fuel cells. So what we do is water, we electrolyze water.
Okay.
So we need energy to electrolyze water. So our plan is to do it solar and also combine it with green steel manufacturing, wherein the heat of the steel manufacturing can add to the power needed to electrolyze the water to produce hydrogen gas. And the byproduct of that is oxygen. So pinaghihiwalay mo yung
wala kang
hydrogen and oxygen.
emission, wala kang carbon emissions, hinihiwalay mo yung hydrogen at
Yes.
oxygen.
Then oxygen is...
So kumbaga tubig lang yun.
Yes, tubig, hinihiwalay mo. Yung oxygen, it's medical grade. Meaning, you can supply it in hospitals.
You can even use the oxygen.
Yes, or you can bring it out to the environment, which is good. Then, yung hydrogen, we can use it as a fuel to fuel the fuel cells na hydrogen naman. It's just a reverse. Yung fuel cells is just a reverse process of the electrolysis. Yes. So, in short, yung tubig, ginagawa mong fuel, ang byproduct mo is oxygen.
Right.
Then, pag ginamit mo yung hydrogen to power your electric vehicles, for example, baliktad naman yung process. Yung hydrogen, pinapasok mo sa sa PEM. Tawag din PEM is proton exchange membrane. So papasok yung hydrogen doon, paglabas sa kabila, na siya, water vapor, then it produces electricity.
Oh, it's the one powering your vehicle. But,
yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So that's not yet
with that,
available.
Commercially, not yet. But merong
This is how you want to do it.
Yes.
It's more environment friendly than the current design.
Yes, that's something
because they
that we
say
will
the battery
do,
making is also,
Yes.
uses a lot of energy.
Yes.
And then ngayon, pag when you when you charge, you're actually using, unless it's renewable source, ganun din eh.
Oh yeah, you're
Nagsusunog ka
transferring yung pollution elsewhere.
Yeah.
So ang goal natin dito is to do the most sustainable way, 'di ba? Na to save our environment, and also isipin mo kung less yung mga internal combustion engine or fossil fuel powered vehicles sa road, mas malamig yung natin, yung hangin. Diba? Mas malamig yung hangin natin. And less yung yung pollution, less yung usok.
For sure.
Yes. So isang effect yun ng electric vehicles right now. But then, yun nga, yung sinabi mo, yung batteries na ginagamit ngayon is also polluting.
The manufacturing and when the life is over, how do you
actually, may second life ang battery. You can use it as storage ng mga solar panels, solar energy, yung mga hina-harvest mo. You can store it in those batteries that have their second lives. So, there are ways to do it. So, nakatulong din yung pagiging physicist ko. Because we know,
yes, because
we know
iba
how it
na,
works.
hindi na combustion engine ang ginagamit ngayon. So, this is more, I guess, molecules, movement of atoms.
Yes, and it will open a lot of doors for us dito sa Pilipinas. Like, for example, one thing that we're working on in the United States is yung mga EV tolls na tinatawag, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. So,
what are
vehicles that will fly vertically. So, yes. So,
really?
Yes. So, it's not
Wow,
new. It's not new to developed countries.
Will be flying?
Yes. Says, can you imagine?
Wow.
We are an archipelago, ang Pilipinas.
Yung pwede nang lumipad ang kotse ko papuntang, sabihin na lang natin, sige, Batangas sa Mindoro, kasi ferry yun, diba?
Yes. Yes. So,
you're joking.
Basically, alam mo, says,
wow, I'm so glad you're here at the edge of that technology.
College pa lang ako.
Parang Jetsons.
Ginagawa ko. Tama, parang ganon. Pero anyway, yung technology kasi in California is very advanced regarding that.
But they're being beaten by China, actually. You don't
Maybe-
think so? But
maybe
you are
in-
in both hubs, huh?
Yes.
You're in China, you're in California.
Yes, for me, says, science has no borders for us. For us, it's not being Filipinos, Chinese, Americans, Europeans. No, we're humans. We're humans. We work together. While some people are fighting over the West Philippine Sea, us, physicists and engineers from China, are working together. And American engineers are working together with us, and also scientists, for the betterment of humanity. So it's not, this is not a Filipino invention or Chinese invention or an American invention.
We're
We
all
work together.
Working to, save the planet, actually.
Yes, because climate change is real.
Wow.
Look at yung effects. Grabe yung mga bagyo natin, mas malakas.
Oo, grabe.
Diba?
Nakikita lang natin.
Mas
itong si
malakas yung
Maymay.
mas malakas yung bagyo natin, mas malalim yung baha, 'di ba? But because many people don't care. Some people don't care, some people don't understand it. Some people just have no idea, they're clueless.
Yeah.
But we have been working on this for decades already.
I know you started in 1988.
1988, we already have electric
Tapos
jeepneys.
bakit hindi man lang kayo pinansin? Teka muna, mabalik tayo. I just want to ask you, was it expensive to establish an R&D hub in California?
Of course.
also,
Of course, it
so
is.
Who's investing? Your
family? Says, we have been in this industry for almost 80 years, 79 years. Of course, it's a long-running thing. It's not an overnight thing that we invest this money now. It's over decades. It's over decades. That's one. And number two, the incentives that they are giving us, even funding. Yeah, they're offering it to us. So even the workers, they have wage subsidies. For training of workers, they're paying for it.
Kaya bakit hindi ka pupunta doon?
They're paying for it while dito nag-iintay tayo ng grasya galing sa gobyerno.
Nang galaw. Mabagal. O sige.
Yeah.
But, an opportunity for you is really this stock jeepney modernization program.
Yes.
The government set aside money, di ba, for jeepney drivers to loan, to borrow, to
Yes.
fund this modernization. But there are no takers.
Yes, actually,
Why?
actually from day one, I've been telling them. I remember that was 2016 or 2017. Sabi ko nga simula pa lang mali na eh. So, maganda yung intention. Modernization is good. Everybody wants modernization. Walang jeepney driver na ayaw mag-drive ng bagong jeepney.
Naman.
Lahat gusto.
Okay.
But the cost, di ba? The cost is really prohibitive. And alam mo naman,
ang mura na ng mga EV na sasakyan. Pero pag
iba yan. Iba yung 5-seater sa 30-seater.
Sige na nga.
Ibang usapan yun. And iba yung internal combustion sa electric.
Kasi we're running out of time. You will retrofit. This is your, di ba, your solution. Hindi gagawa ng bago. I-retrofit lang yung existing. Tama?
That's the next.
Ba't hindi ginagawa ng gobyerno yan?
That's the next step.
Okay.
Alam mo, kung nakinig sila sa akin 9 years ago, tapos na yung problema. Di ba?
Ba't hindi sila nakinig?
Siyempre, kanya-kanyang interest yan. Di ba? So, kailangan magpapasok ng mga minibus galing China, galing Korea, galing ganyan, na imported, na buong-buo yung sasakyan, completely built units, ini-import. Anong benepisyo yung mabibigay nun sa mga manggagawang Pilipino? Wala, di ba? So, hindi sila nakikinig. Then sabi ko sa kanila, bakit mo papalitan yung hindi sira? Yung mga binili nila, ng mga minibus, 3 years, 4 years, sira na. Yung ginawa naming jeep 30 to 50 years ago, tumatakbo pa rin hanggang ngayon. So, that's how durable our jeepneys are. Now, Filipino jeepneys. Hindi ko nila lahat Francisco Motors, kahit yung iba na gumagawa sa Pilipinas ng jeepney, mas matibay pa kesa doon. So, sabi ko,
can you imagine the punishment that vehicle goes every day?
Yes.
Na, I mean, pumapasada ng ilang oras yun, 12 hours maybe?
Yes,
Okay.
12, 16 hours per day. So, ganun yung pasada ng mga, mga kasamahan natin, mga operators. So, para sa akin is, the next step is, we can convert those old jeepneys into electric.
How?
That's the first step.
Alisin mo lang yung makina. Ganun.
Alam mo, meron akong isang owner-type jeepney, mas maliit. Tanggalin mo yung engine na internal combustion, you replace with electric motor, you put batteries, inverters, charge controllers. Yung unang prototype ko ng jeepney na convert ko into electric. Alam mo kung nasaan? Na kay Senator Mark Villar.
Really?
Binili niya kasi yun ang tinatawag natin na support. Di ba?
Isa.
Yeah. It starts with one. Di ba?
Support is policy.
Yes.
Not just buying one vehicle, but
Yes.
you change the entire ecosystem
Yes.
to allow it. Okay.
Yes.
So, there is still an opportunity to offer this.
Yes.
Magkano ang gagastusin ng jeepney driver or operator sa isang unit na ipapa-retrofit?
It's much, much less, actually.
About?
Alam mo,
Can you give a round figure?
depende kasi sa sa haba ng ruta. It can be from 500 to 1 million. 500,000 to 1 million.
Okay.
You know why? It depends. Unlike our Electron, which can go up to 600 kilometers in one charge, we don't need that for the jeepney. Kasi ang jeepney, pabalik-balik lang yan sa same na ruta.
Okay.
So kung ang ruta mo ay 4 kilometers lang, hindi mo kailangan ng sobrang habang range. So hindi mo kailangan ng mahal. Kasi mahal yung battery.
At saka yung charging stations, yun din ang kailangan mong gawin. That can be done?
Yes, actually it's part of our plan because what Francisco Motors is doing is not just manufacturing vehicles, it's the whole ecosystem. Kasama yung infrastructure.
So that's what we're seeing now.
That's the Pinoy transporter. That's not the jeepney. So ito yung utility vehicle natin.
Na EV?
Yes, it's electric. It can also double as public transportation. But
Pwede yan
basically,
pampalit din sa jeepney?
pwede rin. Pero
Magkano yan?
ang purpose ito parang alam mo yung Anfra ng Francisco Motors, yung ginawang Popo bill?
Ah,
Yung bulletproof, parang
Yes.
ganon yan. It's the Pinoy Transporter. At yung lumang ganito, yun yung mga kulay orange na tumatakbo dun sa Cultural Center of the Philippines na
see
binili
yung-
ng government. So, yun yung sinasabi ko na we build many different types of vehicles. Pwedeng gawing pick-up yan. Pwedeng gawing aluminum van yung likod. Pwedeng gawing transporter. Many different body configurations. Then, pwede ring jeepney. It's the same platform.
How much is that?
Eto, mahal to eh.
Magkano?
Mahal to. Maabot to ng mga 2.8 million.
Ba't mahal?
Walang subsidy eh. Walang incentive.
Pero kung may incentive, okay, what
Of
kind
course.
of incentives are needed, for instance, to bring down the price of
Yes.
that one?
Actually, isa is yung yung nasa EVs na nga. Meron silang fiscal incentive support na tinatawag na up to 40% ng ng capital expenditures mo pwedeng ma-cover. We're vying for that
Kung
slot.
baga, a GOCC or a government bank will, or you create a GOCC?
No, it's
for it?
BOI yun, Board of
Okay.
Investments
Okay.
yung yung
Board of Investments ang investor dito.
magbibigay ng incentives.
Tama.
Then meron yung production volume incentives silang binibigay up to 200,000 per vehicle. So, sabi ko nga we have been working closely with with BOI para maging Filipino friendly yung incentive.
Right.
Unlike yung dating CARS program na pang foreign manufacturers lang.
Oo.
'Di ba? Ito sana makuha natin yung isa sa 4 na slots. Kasi 4 lang yung slots for this. So, ang kalaban natin dyan, mga foreign manufacturers.
Like?
Ang isang na-mention ni President Marcos nung SONA is Mitsubishi. So, wala pang iba.
Because he was in Japan.
Yes, so wala pang iba.
But Japan is left behind, no? Because they were pushing a hybrid. They were protecting their car
Yes.
industry, right?
Yes. Yes. So, ang sa atin is we want to build it here
Yes.
in the Philippines. We want Filipino manufacturers. What I'm saying, alam mo, 4 yung slots. If one Filipino manufacturer makapasok doon, like Francisco Motors, I call that an anomaly. It means, isa lang yung nakapasok.
Oo, dapat
Pero
nga.
kung 2 Filipino manufacturers ang makapasok dyan, ang tawag doon is industry. Hindi na anomaly. Di ba?
Pero meron ba ang iba?
Hopefully.
Do you know of others?
Hopefully merong mga Filipino na na makasali din, di ba? But kami,
So, let's
nga
say-
80 years na kami sa industriya. Nahihirapan pa kami sumali. Kasi 4 lang yung
Kumbaga,
slots.
kayo na nga ang parang pinagmamalaki natin.
Yes,
Oo.
we were the first. Di ba? We were the first and we're
Okay.
still standing 80 years
I'm
after.
so glad. Wait, if, let's say, the government will buy, like you said before, in bulk, no? Like, for the needs. Ang daming government
Yes.
agencies.
Yes.
Yun lang, di ba?
Alam mo, Ses, dati, ang gamit ng mga pulis, yung ANFRA ng Francisco Motors. Gamit ng ambulance, ANFRA. Pope Mobile, ANFRA. Di ba?
Malakas ang lobby kasi ng mga importers, no?
Yes. Then, what happened? Hindi na makabenta yung mga foreign manufacturers dahil sa ANFRA. Ang ginawa nila, sinira nila yung industry.
Really?
Yes.
How?
Kinampihan ng Board of Investments back then. Thankfully, yung mga nasa Board of Investments na wala na ngayon, mga bago na yun nandun. That's why ngayon being led by Yusek Perry, Rodolfo ng BOI. He's very supportive. He's
Okay.
helping us on how to navigate this.
Yeah.
Di ba? So,
Good.
Sana
My question is, yung 2.8 na pinakita mo, with incentives and all, how much will the price be?
it would really depend kung ganong kalaking incentive ibibigay sa atin and yung volume.
Pwedeng 1 million na lang.
Actually,
1.2.
bababa yun na malaki. Bababa yun ng kahit half siguro bababa yun. Diba? Siguro mga 1.5, 1.4.
Kaya ba ng jeepney driver ang 1 million na sasakyan?
Alam mo, Ses, totoo lang ha. Ako, matagal na ako sa industriya. And kilala ko ang mga operators, pati mga Pilipino in general sa pagbili ng kahit anong bagay. It's not about the price per se. It's about the affordability.
Okay.
It means magkano yung babayaran mo buwan-buwan.
Tama.
Diba? Magkano yung babayaran mo buwan-buwan? Kung kaya yung ma-cover ng kinikita nung sasakyan, okay yun.
Kasi ngayon, na sila hindi kaya ng hindi na kaya yung presyo talaga.
Hindi talaga. Kaya sabi ko,
It's like,
dapat electric.
Kapit sa patalim na itong mga
Yes.
chupan natin, hindi talaga.
Ang dami kumakontak
and
sa
we're
akin.
always at risk na pabago-bago ang presyo, etc. So, sa tingin mo, magkano yung kaya nilang bayaran sa isang buwan na para, magiging kanila yung sasakyan?
Oo. Alam mo, iba-iba yung iba-iba yung kakayanan nila. Kasi iba-iba yung ruta nila. Merong mahaba, may malakas na ruta, may mahina. Yun yung advantage ng Francisco Motors. Kasi
you can adjust the size.
yes, and they have been our customers for 3 generations.
Yeah.
Sila, mga magulang nila, mga lolo't lola nila, customer na ng Francisco Motors. So alam natin kung ano yung kaya ng ruta nila at hindi. So we know. Ang ginawa ng tatay ko dati back in the 70s, boundary hulog. Karamihan ng bumili mga OFWs. Yes, kasi nagbabayad lang sila ng monthly. Ginawa ng father ko, walang down payment. Walang down payment, diretso monthly. Then, old style, tawag sa kanila si Mang George, tawag sa kanya. Mang George, sabi ng OFW.
Hindi Jorge,
Hindi, Jorge talaga siya. Jorge yung pangalan niya, pero ang tawag si Mang George. Medyo gipit ako ngayong buwan. Pwede ba sa isang buwan na lang ako magbayad? Sige, okay lang. Ganon ang style ng tatay ko dati.
Kaya mo ba yan gawin ngayon?
Ang ginagawa namin ngayon, Ses, yung ginawa ng tatay ko noon, pati ng mga tiyuhin ko. Kasi hindi lang tatay ko meron siyang dalawang tiyuhin ko. Yung ginawa nila dati, we are digitalizing kung ano yung ginawa nila. And lahat yon nandun sa system namin. Ang pangalan nun is Jeepney.io. So, ang website is jeepney.io. We are doing everything doon para ma-afford ng mga ordinaryong mga operators ang bagong jeepney ng Francisco Motors. In short, we're doing our in-house financing. Ginagawa namin. Kasi mahirap kung mahirap din naman.
Kayo nang nag-finance kumbaga. Pero sana nga maging electric na tong mga jeep.
Electric talaga lahat. Hindi na kami gumagawa ng hindi electric.
Ay, ganun ba?
Yes, oo.
So, saan nila charge?
Hindi na.
Kasama na rin yun.
Actually, yung electric na vehicle, you can charge it anywhere, parang cellphone yan.
So magkano?
Pwede mo i-plug sa
sa outlet.
Yes. Pwede mo i-plug sa outlet.
Magkano yun?
Depende kung magkano yung presyo ng kuryente dun sa lugar na yun.
Hindi, yung jeep.
Yung jeep, nasa yung ginawa namin na ganito, yung...
So yan ang binibenta ngayon?
Yes.
Hindi
yan yun. So merong iba yung itsura nun. Ang pinupush ko kasi talaga, yan.
Yan yung jeep na i-retrofit.
Yes. Eto,
jeep pa rin ang itsura.
Yun yung ipinupush ko. Kasi ang jeepney, kung i-modernize mo, dapat jeepney pa rin. Kasi, parte na yan ng ng kultura natin. Parte na yan ng maski ibang
Maski mga turista gusto nga sumakay dyan
mga turista nga pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, magpapapicture sa jeep. Paglinggo nila, asan na yung mga jeep? Bakit minibus yan mga zombie? Sabi, kasi kalakalawang na. Kalakalawang na. Pero yung jeep ng mga Pilipino talagang makisig.
Lagyan mo pa rin ng design.
Makisig.
Ng mga kabayo, yung mga ganun.
Meron yung kabayo. Tapos yung mga painting kasi niyan, depende yan sa operator.
Oo nga, kung anong gusto
expression.
nila.
Expression yan ng mga Pilipino.
Very personalized.
Yes. Alam mo paano nagsimula yon? Yung tiyuhin ko kasi si Anfra. Pintor siya. He's a artist. So, ang tatay ko, mechanical engineer. So, siya yung artist, pinipinta niya ng mga Mayon Volcano, Banawe Rice Terraces. Kaya yung jeepney naging moving works of art. Yun yung nag-start noong 1947, yung mga military jeep dati.
Yes.
Inayos nila, then ginawa nila moving works of art. So, nasa kalye natin, mukhang art gallery mga kalye natin.
Ayan, yun. Ayun, may kabayo nga. So, magkano yan?
Ito na walang incentives, walang subsidy. Nasa mga 1.8 yan.
So siguro pwedeng ibabayan sa alisin ng 1, magiging 800 with government subsidy and incentives. Because if you are giving incentives, for instance, to renewable energy companies, dapat kayo rin.
Imaginein mo, Ses, kung iginawa na lang natin ng jeep, lahat ng mga ninakaw doon sa flood control, edi wala na sanang problema, di ba?
Oo nga, hindi sana nagrarally. Actually, the government policy has been medyo hindi masyadong binibigyan ng dinadaan sa ayuda eh.
Yes.
Kasi takot yung, kumbaga kung tataas kasi ang presyo ng pasahe, maapektuhan ng inflation.
Yes.
So, this will be a great way to help the transport sector.
Yes,
no?
maraming birds in one stone ang solve nito. Kasi one, when we mass produce this here in the Philippines with government incentives, one, bababa yung presyo ng mga sasakyan kasi meron tayong economies of scale. That's one. Number two, hindi na tayo dependent sa fossil fuel. So, maski tumaas o bumaba yung presyo ng langis, hindi tayo affected. Number three, mga Pilipino, maraming trabaho dito sa Pilipinas.
Right. Okay. Elmer, naubos na yung minuto ng programa.
So, may part 2 tayo.
We thank you for your time. That was Elmer Francisco, Chairman of Francisco Motors. And one more story before we go. Our big picture tonight is a doubles edition. First, there's Olympic pole vaulter EJ Obiena, who cleared 5.83 meters in one attempt to clinch the gold at the Stabhochsprung meeting in Germany. This is EJ's 7th gold this season and 2nd straight in Germany. Obiena now moves one spot in the world rankings to number 13. Then in Toronto, Canada, there's Alex Ayala advancing to the next round of the Canadian Open after defeating Alicia Parks in 3 sets. World number 20 Ayala met resistance from her world number 71 opponent in the second set, forcing a decider. She will next meet world number 70 Katie McNally. Those are the big stories this Thursday, August 6. I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. Kapatid, we are One News, your side, all the time. Good night.